even on abortion, the Democrats have gone completely insane, and it's now the Republicans who are more moderate on abortion. So there was the Ohio senatorial debate a day or two ago. This is J.D. Vance, the Republican, versus Tim Ryan, the Democrat, and they went in to discuss abortion.
As an exception.
Look, I've always believed in reasonable exceptions. This is a misrepresentation of my view, but let's hear it from me, not from Congressman Ryan. I absolutely think the 10-year-old girl, the case that we've, of course, heard a lot about, an incredibly tragic situation. I mean, look, I've got a 9-year-old baby girl at home. I cannot imagine what that's like for the girl, for her family. God forbid something like that would happen. I have said repeatedly on the record that I think that girl should be able to get an abortion if she and her family so choose to do so. But let's talk about that case. Because why was a 10-year-old girl raped in our community, raped in our state in the first place? The thing the media and Congressman Ryan, they talk about this all the time. The thing they never mentioned is that poor girl was raped by an illegal alien, somebody that should have never been in this state in the first place. You voted so many times against border wall funding, so many times for amnesty, Tim. If you had done your job, she would have never been raped in the first place. Do your job on border security. Don't lecture me about opinions I don't actually have.
Okay, so there's two things happening there, and I want to show you what the moderate position is, and then we'll get to Tim Ryan's position in a minute. First, on the abortion part. Now, J.D. Vance, who is pro-life, it is his personal and religious belief in life, okay, so he does not want abortion, but he does believe in some exceptions. Now, me personally, you know this, and I know this is against actually what most of my audience believes, but you still tune in because you're decent people. My position would be that we find just some common ground thing, and it's hard to do, and we can talk about whether that's 12 weeks, I think 15 weeks, which is, now you're into the third month, whatever it might be. And then, you could maybe go a few weeks past that. That's for every state to figure out. That's what the beauty of this experiment is. Each state can figure out what it wants to do, and then you're allowed to move according to that. So JD's position is that he allows for exceptions, okay, in the case of rape and health to the mother, et cetera. So that's somewhat of a moderate position, okay? By the way, Florida, I've often mentioned this, Florida here, which is thought of as this very red state with a very mean guy named Ron DeSantis in charge, has a 15-week ban on abortion, which again is basically 3.5 months into a pregnancy. And nobody's arguing about abortion here in Florida. Like 15 weeks, it's like the pro-life people are like, you know what? We sort of wish it was less or didn't exist, but it is what it is. We live in America. We understand there's people different than us. And even I can't say all of the Democrats, but even a decent amount of Democrats here in Florida acknowledge, like the moderate Democrats, because we do have actually some moderate Democrats here in Florida, they even acknowledge that that's a compromise. So first off, JD, he's doing some level of moderation, right, on abortion. And then he's also taking the moderate position when it comes to immigration, which is we have to have a border. That's the moderate position, actually. We can figure out all the other stuff after, but a border is a moderate position. Countries have borders. That's what makes them countries. Anyway, let's compare and contrast that with Tim Ryan's position on abortion.
My question was about any limits to abortion at any point. Late term, anything?
Look, you got to leave it up to the woman, because you and I sitting here are a bunch of... Well, you and I sitting here can't account for all of the different scenarios that a woman dealing with the complexities of a pregnancy are going through. Okay. How can you and I figure that out?
Okay, so you tell me, guys, which is the moderate position, that there should be some exceptions and maybe a couple weeks or whatever it might be, and we can, again, hash that out, and that could be decided state by state, or that women should just be able to decide at 8 months or as the baby's head is coming out that you should abort that baby.